Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
I'm going to speak as a citizen of Bend, Oregon, not as a legislator for a moment, because it is my opinion that one legislator is not particularly relevant to this process, which impacts our entire state, not just my district, but all of ours, because we live in the state of Oregon, and the legislature votes the laws of the state of Oregon. But as a citizen of Bend, I want to talk about the outcomes of this bill. I live in Senate District 27, which will have a 2.9% Republican registration advantage. That will be the outcome. The registration advantage in District 54 is currently, which I represent, which is half of Senate District 27, is currently 2.5% to the Democratic Party. It will go to about 6%. The adjacent district is District 53, which is the other half of Senate District 27. District 53 will have an about 11% Republican advantage. Now those two districts form half each of District 27 with around 3% Republican advantage. And if you just split them half and half, and there was no partisan manipulation of the lines, there would be a 1.5% Republican advantage in both of those districts, House districts, making them both, in my opinion, competitive. Now, why is that important? Because I believe that partisan outcomes are not good for the state. I believe in the competition of ideas. I believe that when I hear the arguments of my colleagues across the aisle to counterbalance my colleagues on my side of the aisle, the outcome is better over time. This is a systemic issue. This is not an individual district issue, and this is not a partisan issue. This is about good governance. This legislature is bigger than all of us. And as a citizen of Bend, I want you to know, I will live in Bend. This is my home, long after I am gone from this legislature. And I want to be represented by people who have to earn my vote. I want to be represented by candidates who will get in there and fight and engage in that competition of ideas. And by manipulating this process to draw lines that favor one party over another to achieve a partisan outcome, that is erased. And many voters who will end up in the minority in districts like mine will be disenfranchised, and ultimately they may disengage from the process. That is not a desirable outcome, and I don't care what party you're from, I don't care where you are on the ideological spectrum, that is a bad result. And that is a result in my hometown, in my district. Let me be clear, I know this will pass today. Many of us are relieved to get this done. This is a difficult process, I understand that. A lot of work went into it. I'm terribly sorry that some of us are sick of that process. Some of us just want to go home. Some of us want to get this session over with, and this is, of course, a critical component of going home. I understand that, and I don't object to it. And I'm not attributing motives to anyone, but the numbers suggest that this process in my hometown, specifically in Bend, was manipulated. Consider 9 whole or partial precincts will be omitted from District 54 as a result of this bill. This is the outcome. What is their crime? What is their criteria? Well, among other things, 8 of 9 of them had a Republican registration advantage. 9 of 9 of them voted for the Republican candidate in the last election. Coincidence? Could be. Could be. Except that District 53 is so tortured to achieve that result, it's unbelievable. District 53 now centers on 2 population bodies, north and south of District 54, connected by a tenuous rural, very thinly populated area. This is not a good outcome.
Representative Wingard yields his time. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you. cynically manipulating the electoral process is small-minded and short-sighted because we don't know who will live in these districts in the future. The goal of this process is to create a reasonable, a balanced, a fair plan that will engage the people of Oregon in the political process regardless of their partisan affiliation or their ideology. I don't believe that the people of Oregon are easily deceived, nor do I think that they are willingly accepting of manipulation. Some of you may be viewing this plan as creating an advantage for a particular party to retake control of this legislature. If that is true, shame on you. Shame on you for subverting the interests of the people of Oregon, of our home and our state. If it is not true, then go back to the drawing board. I will be voting no on this.